Now, look at this video up here. I did it last night, immediately after the Nigeria versus Morocco match, AFCON semi-final, where Nigeria lost on penalties. Samuel Chukwueze, make I no catch you for Benin. Make I no catch you for Benin. Make I no mistake. See you for Ring Road because you no go like me. What sort of penalty was that, Samuel Chukwueze? I've never seen a more lackadaisically taken penalty in my entire life as a football fan. Yeah, somebody called me earlier today saying that why was I screaming on the phone like that and everything? I'm screaming as if the Super Eagles are paying me and all that. Now I want to explain to you guys that my passion for football did not start yesterday. My passion for football started even before I was 4 years old. Now, this is not me trying to put out something because I want to put out something. I'm not trying to say this because I want to say this. I want to put this out for people to know that talking about football for me is what I love doing, because playing football was also what I loved doing. I used to play football. I played football to a certain level until things did not work out and everything. And one has to step down from the game, retire, and focus on other parts of the game and other parts of life and all that stuff. And I found in the long run in life, I found that I love talking. I found that I love talking because even when I was in school, when I was still in university, I was the class rep of my level in my department, and I love talking. And because of what I studied in school, it also encouraged me to keep talking and all that stuff. So talking about football is a thing I love doing and everything. And this sometimes I express my emotions in talking about football. I started supporting Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan. I started supporting Arsenal in 2003, and Nwankwo Kanu was the reason that made me start to support Arsenal. I loved what he did against Chelsea in the 2002-2003 season, although I don't start supporting Arsenal as at the time, that particular season. But when I watched that game, because I watched how that satellite dish and everything, when many persons will be standing, watching towards a television that is very far, there was a little me standing in front of tall giants, in front of tall bosses and tall mamas who love football and all that, watching Nwankwo Kanu against Chelsea, that he came from the second half when Arsenal were 2 goals down and he scored a hat-trick. So, knowing that Nwankwo Kanu is a Nigerian and he plays for Super Eagles, I once, because of how little I once asked my dad, who would Nwankwo Kanu play for if Nigeria and Arsenal play a match? It was a stupid question. My dad laughed about it. You know what my dad said to me? He said, when you grow up, you will realize who you will play for. And when I actually grew up, when I started understanding what football actually is, what playing for your national team and playing for a club side actually is, I started understanding that a club side and the national side cannot play, except maybe they want to fit some kind of friendly match that made Nigeria and Atletico Madrid actually play a friendly match the other time, where Atletico Madrid, I think they won 4-1 or 4-0 or something, when they came to Nigeria here. So what I'm trying to explain is that my passion from the game has been coming over the years. And anytime I see myself watching the Super Eagles, it always relieves those times that I started watching the Super Eagles from the JJ Okocha set and all that stuff. The Nwankwo Kanu set. Those were the times. Those were my alma mater set. Watching my alma mater times watching the Super Eagles, because it was also always joyful to watch. See, I still celebrate those times. Yes, I did not before 2003. Before 2013, I did not see the Super Eagles win the Nations Cup. But many times than not, they got to the semi-final. Many times than not, they ended there. They won bronze medal and everything. And seeing what Samuel Chukwueze did yesterday, how lackadaisically he played that penalty, made me feel like Nigerian football needs to grow beyond this. And Samuel Chukwueze, of all people, should know this, because he too came from the street and he knows how difficult it is to get to the Super Eagles. And now you have gotten to the Super Eagles, you now show less of ambition, because you are there now. You now show less of desire. You don't think, a lot of persons are carrying the agenda. I don't think that's true, but people are carrying the agenda that it is because he played the penalty like that because he has been benched. throughout the tournament and all that stuff. I do not think it's true. But nonetheless, even if that is were to be taken as true, it is not enough for Chukwueze to play it like that. Because people actually make their name in football out of nothing. And that moment could have been one of the moments that would have made Chukwueze. Now, that moment is almost destroying Chukwueze's, Super Eagles career. I'm sorry to say, I love Chukwueze. I love him as a footballer. I like, most especially when he was at Villarreal. I like the way he used to dribble and all that stuff. But later on, he has changed. And yesterday's penalty proved it. I only said this little story about myself to show you guys how much I love football and how much I put my heart to, most especially when Arsenal and the Super Eagles are playing. I love football generally, but these are my two favorite teams in football. So when you see me use emotion, when you see me speak with emotions, when I'm talking about Arsenal or the Super Eagles, you know that it is dog, whatever I'm saying is dog inside my innate man.